put some ideas on the table in terms of reducing the number of teachers by attrition, by requiring a minimum contribution for health insurance coverage, for making some changes in our income sensitivity programs. We've got to have some action, or we're going to continue to see huge increases in the property tax burden with a continued decline in our public school population.
You mentioned permit reform and how many times you mentioned it from that podium. You know, there's some people who look at challenges and say, you know what, this is a package of things that you would have wanted to have enacted over the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years. You've had no success in getting those done. So they're being repackaged in challenges, and this is kind of your final effort to get these measures passed. How do you respond to those concerns?
Well, we've had some success. The appeal consolidation of 2004, I think, was an important step forward. But as I said last week, just because I've offered an idea that the legislature hasn't embraced before doesn't mean it's not a good idea now. And I'm going to continue to advocate for the kinds of reforms that I think are important. And this is not just my idea. Folks around the nation are concerned about investing in Vermont. I may have told you the story about when I signed a bill a couple of years ago, I think, the L3C, the corporate structure bill, and there was a lawyer from Washington, D.C. here who said, well, this is a very progressive piece of legislation, which surprises me because, as you know, Vermont has a terrible reputation as a place to do business. And we've got to confront that reality. Maybe it's perception, we can have that debate, but that's what people are saying, that's what they're seeing, and we've got to have a permitting process that is inviting. There's a manufacturer in Vermont whom I spoke a couple of years ago when I went to the expansion of his plant, and I congratulated him and thanked him for his continued investment and growth in our state. And he said, well, we're happy to do this, but I think I should let you know that I've also opened a plant in Kentucky. And it took me 9 months from the time I went to the state and local authorities with my idea until I opened the door. And that can't happen in Vermont, unfortunately. So we've got to find a way. And again, if they don't like the specific ideas that are in the challenges package, then I welcome others, but we've got to do something.
What is your overall sense of where the legislature's headed? Are they taking that seriously and coming up with alternatives? Or embracing your ideas, or are they looking, is it looking too late to get?
Well, I think, generally, I think it's going quite well. Remember, the legislature and I are partners in this effort. They passed the original challenges bill overwhelmingly. We've been working very closely together, the Oversight Committee, the Government Accountability Committee, the leadership, and my administration, Neil, Jim, and Tom, and others who've been focused on this. So there'll be some differences of opinion on a few items as we've discussed, but I think overall the process is moving forward well. Remember, the House passed a budget without $38 million, assuming the successful implementation of the challenges. So I think they are determined to meet that goal.
Robert, were you surprised to see a Vermont winery turn up on the same list of expenditures from the Republican National Committee as a bondage screen nightclub in Hollywood, West Hollywood is?
I was. I don't know anything about it, Dave.
How big an embarrassment is this for the National Party, and do you think that Chairman Steele might want to consider resigning?
I'm not going to suggest that specifically. The members of the National Committee will make their own decision over the coming months, but obviously those who have an interest in refocusing the national political dynamic are making a big deal of this, but I don't know in the scheme of things if it's that important.
But as a Republican, does it make you mad that they're spending money on stuff like this?
Yes, frankly, we're a lot thriftier in Vermont, as you know. We're in a very modest cubbyhole office down the street and very responsible deployment of our resources, but it obviously doesn't look good, and it's not good for people who donate to a national political party to see those expenditures. So I'm sure the members of the National Committee will address it But again, in the bigger context, I think it's fair to say that Republicans generally have some wind at our backs, and anything that Democrats can do to try to exploit some episode like this, they're going to take advantage of, and that's fine. But in the scheme of things, I guess I don't think it's a big deal. I am curious as to how that got on the list.
Any idea who drank the wine?
Has your office bought the office supplies from Boynton?
No, I don't believe so. They're good friends, they're good folks, good entrepreneurs. Part of our value-added agricultural sector. We're proud of them, but I don't know what they might have in terms of office supplies.
You're still confident in council?
Well, I'm not a member of the National Committee. I'm confident in Chairman Larrabee.
Do you have an opinion about whether the party benefits from change?
As I say, this is the issue of the week. In the scheme of things, I have trouble believing that a fairly modest expenditure out of the huge budget of the National Committee is a big deal. But there are many who aren't fans of his to begin with, let's face it, and this will give them an opportunity to push their case.
Are you a fan of it?
I've met him a few times. He's certainly a pleasant guy, and had a chance to talk with him about the differences of the Republican Party in different regions of the country, and I think he appreciates that.
Back to challenges for a second. Is your message also to lawmakers, if they don't come up with the 31, is that the target figure, as opposed to the 38, or whatever the number happens to be? Is your message to them, stay away from the rainy day fund, and don't even think about using the one-time money?
Yes. We're rightly proud of the commitment we've made to fiscal responsibility by not accessing our reserves. Many states, maybe most around the country, have dipped into their rainy day funds during this recession, and talked with a number of colleagues who've been in that category, and they understand that this is one-time money that is not replenished until there are good times and they have a chance to build that into future budgets. And we don't know whether things are going to continue to get worse or when they might turn around. So I think it's important not to access those reserves. So yes, my message would be balance the budget. We're spending $4.75 billion in Vermont with all funds combined. That's plenty, and we ought to be able to find some priorities and live with